Why aren't my clients buying from me when they tell me they love me and my insight? I'm having great sales calls and we're really resonating with each other, but I'm just not converting these prospects into buyers. What's going on, Jesse? This is not an uncommon question that I hear, and there could be a couple of things going on. But today the conversation is going to dive into something that you may not even realize is happening because you're enjoying the conversation so much and really feel like you're on point with helping your potential client with a solution. Curious? Stick around. We're going to dig into this so you don't make the same mistake on your next sales call. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jessie, and I help coaches, consultants, and small business owners find the fastest way to master a magnetic one-to-one sales conversation so that you can get more clients and make more money without feeling yucky or being pushy, but instead keeping a heartfelt focus on helping each and every client. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and the bell to get notified each time I upload new tips on building your sales confidence and selling more with ease and authenticity. So I was having a great conversation, really diving deep into what the potential client was struggling with, what they wanted to change. I really understood what was going on, and I was so excited to see perspectives that had not occurred to them, a real path to a solution that was exactly what they were looking for. In my desire to gain their buy-in to my offer, I shared what I thought would help them make the shift. I wanted to give them a snippet of what I thought would be a great start to the full transformation in front of them. There was real emotion for them as they heard that from me, an absolute recognition that they had not seen before, and our conversation continued in a way that really resonated and felt very impactful. I was so excited that our connection had been so powerful, and then I asked them what they thought about my offer, and they said, "You know, we think we're good right now after all." Wait a second. After that pure, beautiful insight, after troubleshooting and a vision of how to get them to their end goal, my stomach dropped. I was silent, a bit surprised, and of course disappointed. I was so ready to help them. It was such a great connection, and they were an ideal client. What happened? You may relate to this story. Maybe not. Hopefully you don't. But honestly, this is really all too common in the world of sales, particularly in the world of selling coaching and consulting services. I've been guilty of it myself, as you just heard. So what went wrong? Well, I always like to advise my clients to pause and reflect after each sales call to see what they would change and what went well. What didn't go well? Well, they didn't buy, even though they seemed like an ideal client. And they said they were good at the end of the call. So what went wrong? I'll tell you. I overshared. I gave too much of my coaching away without realizing it and made the client feel like they could help themselves. Why would they sign up with me when I had just given them enough insight through the call that they felt better, like they knew now how to move forward on their own? And I didn't proactively address this potential reaction with them during the call. So let's dig into this. How do you know where that line is on what to say and not to say to still keep the client engaged and ready to buy? And if you do share insights on your sales call, how do you keep your client wanting more of that powerful coaching rather than leaving the conversation ready to tackle their problems on their own? As a coach or consultant, it's in our DNA to help. That's why we make such great coaches. But with that, you have to be really careful not to overcoach or overshare during a sales call. Why would you do that? Well, a few reasons really. One, you really just enjoy doing what you do and want to help. It's as simple as that. Two, you want to share your expertise with your potential client. It helps them have trust in you. And three, You just don't know where the line should fall between what you should say on a sales call and what is actually coaching. So you need guidance on what to say and what not to say to your potential client. Do any of these feel familiar? And what do you do if you do overshare? You've given the clients more information than you intended, and they're feeling confident and renewed by your sales call. What now? Well, this is where you have to shift and help your clients realize that any snippets you share, if you happen to let that slip, are only a small piece of the overall puzzle, and that they will be bumping back up against that frustration and struggle again if they don't find a total solution. I like sharing analogies that they can relate to. For example, take dieting. People will get a great idea of something to try to lose a little bit of weight, and they will go after that enthusiastically for a few weeks. And then struggle sets in. They feel frustrated and cycle back to old habits. The pattern generally yo-yos because only a portion of the solution was attempted, and all the right supportive parts and pieces for that person were not in place to give them the guidance and the hand-holding that would ensure their long-term success. Clients need a whole solution to help them provide a lifelong transformation that sticks and stays. So if you're oversharing during a sales call and your client is suddenly sounding really optimistic about where they are on their journey, you need to talk through what that means at that point. That what they are feeling is only a portion of the solution. And share an analogy like the dieting one, or better yet, share a story from an experience of one of your current clients that they had holding off trying to work through their solution on their own, but coming back to you in frustration months later. These stories are powerful and relatable, and they help you proactively address what might happen if the potential client wants to forge forward on their own. Does this make sense? Can you relate to these situations? Has anything like this ever happened to you? And how would it impact your business if you could shift things just slightly so that this doesn't happen again during a sales call? Let me know in the comments. The next question is, how do you know where to draw that line on a sales call for what you share and what you need to reserve for your paying clients? Well, this answer will likely vary depending on your offer and your clients. And honestly, each sales call is unique because humans have different needs and questions. So it's complicated having a strict definition of what information to not share on a call. But as a guideline, what you reserve for paying clients and don't want to share on the call is the how to do things. The how is what your paying clients get from you when they work with you. The how is your unique and special process that gets clients the long-term results they're looking for. The other thing reserved for your paying clients is you. So it's good to share that compelling and relatable side of you on the sales call, because that's truly just an example of the guidance and support your potential clients will get in working with you. And if they felt they could relate to you and liked your insight, they felt it was beneficial and impactful, they can expect to get more of that if they move forward with your offer. And what would that ongoing support from you mean to them in their success? It's not a bad question to ask your potential clients to help put into perspective any free coaching that happened during the call. Can you see how it gets a bit tricky when you overcoach on a sales call? While you enjoy the conversation and the engagement with your potential clients really high, the risk is that you make your clients feel so good and give them enough insight that they're all pumped up and ready to go give your suggestions a try on their own. But what often happens is, then off they go, and for a bit they're hopeful and attempting your suggestions, but more often than not, the obstacle is not really addressed and the original challenge still remains. The snippet that you gave them during the original sales call didn't do the trick, and they still need help to really see the final end transformation they were looking for. I liken it to DIYers who have grand visions for their homes. They are full of inspired energy and they get started with the work. But then it doesn't come together the way they envisioned, and their projects are left half done, maybe in worse condition than before, and they don't know how to move forward. They may continue to try to work it out, spending more money, taking more time with their house in pieces. They're living in chaos and they're not happy with the impact this is having on their life overall. Their choice is keep at it or call in the experts. And when the experts come, it's often more work to resolve and complete the job than it would have been if they've just started with the experts to begin with. But at that point, the DIYers are so fed up and desperate that they often agree to the experts' help. Honestly, this DIY analogy is one that I also share with potential clients too. It's another example that they can relate to that resonates about not taking complete steps towards the end goal. It helps them understand why it's important to get help with the entire process, not just piece together partial solutions along a slow and painfully long road. It just doesn't need to be that difficult. Are you interested in learning more about how to have magnetic and authentic one-on-one sales conversations? Reach out to me at the link that I've posted in the video description below and ask me about my 60-day Sales Accelerator program. We can chat to see if we're a good fit to work together. It doesn't matter if you're new and just starting out with sales or want to take your sales conversations to a whole new level. This powerful program will have a significant impact on your sales call success. And I would absolutely love to help you and your business thrive at all new levels. Now, I trust that this conversation has given you something to think about for your next sales call on how to determine if you're overcoaching as one of the reasons your clients are not buying your offer, and what to do if you think that might be the case. And if you've liked this video, please subscribe, hit the bell, and share it with some friends who may benefit from it as well. And from here, I look forward to seeing you next week with more sales tips to help you stay out of that pushy and pressure-filled sales zone, yet still signing up more and more clients each and every day. Have a great week, my friends.